Good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Cheers. I hope you brought your cup in with you. Let's bring it in and fill it up with joy. It's just sending out some messages. Good morning, sweet Annie. How are you doing this morning? Happy Saturday. And let's get this shared out. That's what I was doing, sharing it out so people can know that we're on, that we're here, that we're ready for blessings today. So help me share it out, please. Good morning, Linda. Oh my gosh, it's good to see you on here this morning. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully people will get in here. All right, so Kathy Hand, good morning, sweetie. All right, so into our hearts. Take a deep breath in and release it. And then breathe back into it and bring in some love. Pull in that beautiful love from Source, from your higher self, from the angels, from those that you love while you're here in this lifetime. Just pull in love into your heart and release. Now add something in there that makes you smile. It might be a person. You might want to call them into the cuppa this morning. Maybe it's a place that you go to, or beautiful scenery, or an animal, or child. Just remember it, put that smile on your face, and then come back here to be with everyone. And let's see who came in. Charlie, good morning. Suzanne said she'll be working. Aw, well, hopefully she'll be off in time for our class today. We have our first class of February going on for the Supersize Emotional Empowerment. And hello to Erica. So what's happening today? Anybody have anything exciting to share? Things going on in your world? I am back in South Florida after my little adventure over to the West Coast to visit with Ruth and the manatees. And Ruth has decided that it might be too dangerous to fly home today with that big snowstorm that's getting ready to hit Colorado. So she's sticking around for another day. And I know they're going to have some more manatee adventures and getting out and about in the area of Crystal River and seeing all the beauty there. So what's everybody else doing? I am busy all day long and getting prepared for meeting with those of you who are coming in for the sharing in the group and learning together. All right, so let's see what the angels had to say. And the message is, are you plugged into Source? Life consists not in holding good cards, but in playing those you hold well. That's by Josh Billings. When I think about this quote, I hear the phrase, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. I'm not particularly fond of lemonade. I don't like it very much. So when things don't go well for me, I try to think of something creative that I can do. I go back to basics and pause and observe. And I just lost my voice. Let me try that again. I go back to basics and pause to observe. At that point, I become teachable and can then ask, what would you have me do, God? I've been doing this a lot over the last few years, not because things have been difficult, but rather because I want to know that I am doing what Spirit wants me to do and not what ego is guiding. Dear angels, I believe that life is as easy or hard as we make it. Our part is getting into the flow or alignment with our higher plan. I always know when I have gotten out of touch with my heart center, which is where I connect for guidance. At those times, I feel like a dandelion being blown around and displaced. How do we become more consciously aware of the need for centering and grounding? Dear ones, you were given certain spiritual gifts when you incarnated, and that was for you to utilize for guidance. When you tune into these, it's like plugging electrical equipment into a power source. It works just fine when connected. Otherwise, it just sits still, waiting for instruction. You can give it all the information needed to do its job, but the words are useless. Do you understand this message? Check your power source, dear ones, on a regular basis. When the aha moment hits you, then you can make better choices and know that you are doing so under the guidance of your higher self and in accordance with your divine plan. Dear angels, today I promise to stay connected. You know, when that message came through, I was thinking about last summer when I was visiting with our Sherry Myers in New Orleans. And I had been to Sherry's house a few times, so I was aware of what she had as far as things to cook with and her kitchen equipment, because Sherry does a lot of cooking there in the neighborhood. So one morning I was I believe I was toasting an English muffin or something, and I had it in her toaster oven. I turned it on, and it made noise because it's a toaster oven, and you know, when you set the timer on it or turn it on, it does make a noise. And I had walked away, and I came back, and it was still not toasted. Nothing had happened. And so I checked that it was plugged in, and it looked like it was plugged in to the outlet or to the extension cord. So I thought, okay, so her toaster must have died over this last year, and I bought her a new one. So she comes home, and she's like, oh, you got a toaster. And I said, yeah, I don't think yours works anymore. But what happened was it was plugged in to the extension cord, but it wasn't plugged in to the wall outlet, which is where the power source, electrical power source was. And so that in itself is a huge lesson. You might think that you're plugged in. You might be connected in with maybe somebody else or other people that are talking about spiritual things or talking, maybe even giving you some kind of guidance for your life. But if you're not totally plugged in to source, to whoever is guiding you, whoever you are connected with, whether that's going to God, going to the angels, to masters, wherever you call on, whoever you call on for your spiritual guidance, make sure that it's coming directly from source, from the creator, from the real power that sparks the ignition switch. So it is a big lesson. And sometimes we think that we're connected and we start making choices and things aren't going right. And we're like, well, I'm doing everything right. But It's just a matter of stepping away and observing and saying, am I really? Am I really doing everything the way that will give me the best benefit as I connect in and choose the things to do? I see my little angel is out of camera range. Let's see. I'll move her that way and you can see her. Yay! So, good morning, Andrea. Suzanne is working today. Well, I'm hoping she'll get off in time for class today, which is later this afternoon. And let's see what our Kuan Yin guidance is for this message about being plugged in and making sure that we are totally connected in going through this lifetime, because we need that. We need the connection. We need to know that we're not, like I said, like a dandelion being blown apart at all of the challenges and the struggles that come through for us. So can you all relate to that message at all? I know it definitely hit me. Like, yeah, I need to always be plugged in so that those directions that I'm getting are not out of my head, that they're actually from source energy. And that happens a lot with this journey that I'm on, the Peace on Earth tour. It's like, am I hearing to go to this place or to stay put or to move along? And I have to step back and observe. And when I do that, then I can see the beauty of where Spirit has me, where they placed me, who needs me at that moment to be in their area. And it's just a beautiful thing to be so tapped in. What is it Abraham says? Tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. I always love that when Esther would speak those words. All right, so let's see what message Kuan Yin wants us to know. And it is, Harvest Mother watches over me. The inner world offers powerful healing energy, creating space to receive it with love, patience, acceptance, and willingness to hear, feel, and honor all messages from our inner world with wisdom allows this inner medicine to work its healing magic, even if it seems unfathomable at an intellectual level. The inner world knows how to restore and heal every aspect of the soul. We just need to invite and allow it. Accept, align, allow. That's the AAA. And seriously, she's speaking to this, that we have everything we need inside of us, but it's the acceptance. That's the plugging in. It's the acceptance that there is a power greater than ourselves that we're connected into. And that higher power always knows what's best for us, always sees the bigger picture. So it's not just about this very moment of what am I doing? It's our whole entire lifetime here. We come here with guidance. And once we realize that and get into the energy of, okay, I'll get plugged in so I can see things more clearly, so that everything now is working. I have heat in the toaster. I have exactly what I need. The radio's playing. Whatever it is that you're plugging into, that you're going to pay attention to, make sure that it's directly plugged into source. Annie says, yes, I can relate. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and forget to ground and take deep breaths and listen. Yeah, it does get overwhelming if we feel like we're all alone. That's that dandelion feel. That's the one where we seem to be torn apart limb by limb, right? When things aren't going our way. And yeah, make lemonade or whatever your flavor is. Good morning, Joanne. Oh my gosh, we were so in sync this morning. I was typing a message to Joanne because I went out to get coffee and she wasn't there. And she's usually always there. And so I realized that she must have left. And I didn't even hear you leave, Joanne. So good morning to you. And sorry I didn't get to see your smiling face before I started my day. And Kathy, well, today I definitely feel disconnected. Well, let's get you plugged back in, dear one. That's all that means, is that somehow the cord has come unplugged. And all you have to do is set that intention, visualize it, see it in your mind's eye. And this is for everybody. See it in your mind's eye that when things aren't quite going right and you feel like you're being swayed and tossed around, what can you do? What do you have power over? This is the first step. Realizing that we're here with how many billion other people on this planet, and they're all here trying to plug in, and maybe some of them being unplugged from source. So if we're constantly putting that toast in the toaster and turning it on and nothing's happening, check the source. Where is your source? Where do you go to? Who do you call on? And just take that moment in your heart, breathe into your heart center and say, okay, I need to get back to my source. I need to make sure that everything is working perfectly. When I turn the equipment on, I want to make sure that it's connected to be able to do its job. Because I can talk to that toaster all day long. I can say, make me toast. I want it this way. And we can describe exactly how we want it. But if it's not plugged in, it's just going to look at you like, okay, I hear you, but nothing I can do about it. So we can throw out all the wants and all the wishes and all the desires that we want to. But if we're not plugged in, nothing's happening. And then we say, oh, there must be something wrong with God. He's not hearing me, right? The angels have left me. They've deserted me. I'm on my own. Nobody has deserted you. Nobody has left you to your own devices. We have to take some responsibility for tuning in to where we need to be plugged in. So that is such a huge message this morning that they gave. And I understood it perfectly when they gave it to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I try to control things sometimes with where I'm going and where I'm going to show up and when I'm going to leave. And yeah, it doesn't work well. It never turns out well when I'm the one in control. I have to always give it over to spirit. Good morning, Deirdre. Good morning, Julie Kiss. Hello, everyone. All right, so let's see if the angels want to illuminate that message even more with some messages from the tiny book. And those of you that came in late, the angel message today is, are you plugged into source? And if you're not, and things aren't going quite as you would like them to go, then look and see if your power cord is all the way plugged in, or if the source you're plugged into is connected to spirit and connected to the higher source. And Deirdre, you found out the name of your condition. It's called uveitis. Never heard of that before. I may have in a prior time in my life when I did medical transcription, but yeah, that's an interesting name, isn't it? So you can speak to that name and you can pour love into it and make it something that's loving and warm and inviting and change the energy of it. You know, sometimes we own disease or we own illness, and it may have like this ugly connotation to it. It might have something that's like destructive or not fulfilling, but we can change it. Dr. Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So it's not necessarily that it changes on its own, but we look at it in a different way. And that is the conduit. That's what changes it. And you do tell your eyes, I love you. That's beautiful, because that's necessary to speak to every part of our body and acknowledge that, we need all of it. We need the whole human body to be able to use it as the vessel to move around with in this lifetime. So when you say that word, Deirdre, just assign it a new meaning. Assign it a love meaning, whatever you want to pour into it, to be really uplifting to your body. All right, so anybody want to pick a number? And we'll see where the angels go with us this morning, if they want to stick to that message of plugging into the power source, or if they want to go maybe a different direction with that. 52. All right, thank you, Deirdre. Let's go to 52. And it says, to get back your sense of safety, stop trying to convince yourself that your story is real. Breathe and return to your heart. Yeah, I think they're continuing on, aren't they? So when we are telling a story, whatever it might be about our lives, just step away from it and say, oh, is that real? Am I truly invested in what that story is? And I'm telling a story about a sneeze right now. Okay, that was fun. Sneeze on the air, but it wasn't going to be denied. So that was my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you, Deirdre. So, yeah, this message from the angels is, how invested are you in that story? Breathe and return to your heart and see if, okay, is my story the way I want it to be? Is that a true story for me to be speaking? That I'm ill, or that I'm not happy, or that things aren't going exactly the way they're supposed to go? So it's always about self-awareness. This lifetime that we're living, it's being aware by opening our spiritual eyes, not just our physical eyes. Our physical eyes are going to tell us one story. They're going to tell us about all the things, all the challenges, all the fires that we're going through. Our spiritual eyes are going to say, oh, you're doing this. This is to help you understand things. This is to help you understand a certain aspect of your being. So always tune in to what your spirit eyes are saying to you. Kathy, I opened my book to page 75 and 76. Lots of good messages. The last one on 76 is definitely about connection. Well, let me go there, and we'll see what you're talking about. Thank you, Kathy. Watch what you're asking for from the universe, because it is coming into form as you think it. Dear ones, you have this awareness to help you move through your human experience with more ease. Lose your resistance and open to your highest possible potential. I love those words, your highest possible potential. Sometimes we don't think about that. Sometimes we just try to make it through the moment, right? Anybody relate to that? To like, oh, I am climbing and climbing and climbing this mountain, and I just need to focus on taking that next step, whatever that looks like. stepping up the mountainside. I need to make sure that I'm on solid footing and that I'm not losing my grip. And sometimes we're so focused on being able to be safe, being able to be in the right place, that we forget that we have a source to plug into. We have guidance. We don't have to go through all of this alone, you guys. This is such a huge message for all of us, this connection message that they gave today. And I know I certainly do need it in my life as a reminder to always make sure the power source is on. Always make sure that you are listening with both ears. This is important because sometimes we start listening and then something else catches our attention, like a noisemaker, right? We start getting our attention diverted into that cute little squirrel that's out there playing in the yard. And all of a sudden, we don't hear what's coming into this ear because this has our attention. So if you are diligently seeking guidance, if you really want to know what's best for your life, what steps to take, which direction to turn, then you have to have the blinders on. You at the next best thing. Where is the grass greener? Where does it feel better for me to be? You have to listen first. So turn the volume up and pay attention with both ears so that you will hear the guidance. And as I said, make sure you're plugged in. So let me see what the last one on 75 has to say. You are created from the divine and therefore have all the necessary coding within your DNA to rise up to the higher dimensions. We have everything we need, everything. There is nothing that we lack, but yet there are times when we tell the story of lack. We tell the story of coming from, I don't have enough. I don't have enough of food. I don't have enough gas in the car. I don't have enough money to get me to the end of the month. Whatever that story is, it's a lack story. And Spirit says that we have all the necessary coding within us to rise up to whatever it is that we need. It's all there, you guys. It is all there. And when we start getting into the lower vibration of lack, look at that. Step away. Just take a pause and breathe and step away from the situation. And okay, what would you have me do today? That is always the question. Always. Write it down. Go back to the basics. Go back to that desire from within you to know exactly what to do and what steps to take, and make sure you're connected in. Make sure the power source is on. And if it's not on, then plug it in. Make sure that it is source that you're connected into. And Kathy says, I could have fallen into the chaos Colin created last night, but I took a breath and chose to walk away and go to my room, shut the door, and wait until he left. You did exactly the right thing that you were guided to do, Kathy, and the best thing for the situation. Sometimes we can diffuse a hot situation by just disconnecting, by saying, okay, I choose to go to my happy place. I choose to stay in my high vibration. Just like my song, I refer to it a lot because it is so powerful that even if the sky is falling down, even if there's turmoil and chaos all around you, you don't have to be swept up in it. It doesn't have to become a tornado. picking you up and displacing you and putting you back down somewhere else. Stand firm where you are. And if your roots are far enough grounded into the earth, you'll stay firm. You won't be pulled up out of the ground and displaced. You'll stay where you are and where you need to be in any given moment. Okay, so anybody else want one, or are we ready for our meditation and prayer and get on with our day? So if you do have one, put it in there and we'll go into our prayers. But I'd love to hear how all of this is resonating with you today. Has it touched you? Do you understand it? Is it something that is useful to you in going through your life experience? Annie wants page 21, so we'll go there. And I would just love to know if what the angel message is for today is something that you're like, yeah, I do get it. I do understand it. And it's a good guidance for life. Okay, page 21. We encourage you all to be limitless in how you live your life. Don't restrict yourself to only doing something because somebody somewhere said it has to be done a certain day or time of the year. When you stay in the now moment, anything is possible. Even Christmas in March. Anything is possible. And that's really the bottom line. When we feel so out of it and we feel so disconnected and discombobulated, we can always plug back in. We can always know that in this very moment, I'm starting right now with that clean slate, right? I have my clean slate. Let me see if I can grab it. Oops. I turned my light out. There it is. Okay, so every day you have a clean slate with nothing on it. I want you to visualize that as you go through your day. Get that clean slate out. And what do you want to put on there? What do you want? Visualize it. Write it in words or draw a picture. How do you want this to look for you today? What do you want to say? Put it on there. Type it in and let's write it on this slate that is ready and waiting for us to create today. And he says, sometimes I feel disconnected, but it's me letting the stress overtake me. Exactly. It certainly is. And Deirdre says, messages always make sense and are grounding for us. Beautiful. All right, I want to see some visualization. What do you all want to put on here today? What do you want to create? Kathy, I totally understand it. I am already planning to take time from my usual day off routine of cleaning, bills, laundry, to plug into Source and be open to receive the message I most need to hear about our current situation. All right, so Kathy is ready to plug in today. So there you go. Plug into Source. Deirdre, today I'm creating world peace. I stand firmly in believing it will happen in my lifetime. So for Deirdre, she's going to focus on world peace. So see, this is how simple it is, you guys. You have this brand new, clean board That's yours. You have your own board. And whatever it is that you want, put it on there. What do you want to create today? Anybody else? Anybody want to do some creating today and visualize exactly what it is that you want your day to be like? What do you want to be on your board? So what do I create today? I want to create harmony in our world. And in all our world. Harmony and joy. Definitely have to have the joy in there. Anybody else want to be on this board? You want to visualize and create with us? What is yours? What are you bringing in today? And then we'll go into our meditation and let's create it. And any prayer requests that you have as well. Put those in here. We're missing a lot of P's this morning, so let's pray for those who are not with us, like our Blue Jean, our Auntie Jean. And thank you, Deirdre, for our daily prayer for all humans, for Gaia, and all who walk on her back. World peace, attention to human trafficking, and support for parents of addicted children. Thank you for that, Deirdre. All right, so I guess that's all the creating that we want to do today. Is that the message I'm hearing? Is that we're done with visualizing. We're done with calling in things for our day. So let's get on to the meditation then. All right, it all begins with the breath. So breathe in and release. Breathe in again. And this time, make sure that you're plugged in completely to Source. Make sure that that power is arriving where you are, and you'll feel it. You will definitely feel the power when it comes into you. It's like this huge surge of energy, just like when a light bulb lights up and you know that it's totally plugged in to the source to make it run properly. So if you're not feeling lit up, if you're not feeling like you're running on all cylinders, then check the source. Check to make sure that you're not diverting your attention somewhere else. You're not looking around. You're not waiting to respond to something and trying to think of what your response is going to be. Make sure you're totally focused when you bring that breath into your heart. And then release everything else. Anything that's unlike love. All of those distractions. All those things that are not going to keep you balanced and centered. Just let them go. Let it go. One more breath in to fully get grounded into earth energy. See that breath going down the length of your body, going out the bottom of your feet, and deep into Mother Gaia. Go all the way to that crystalline center, all the way where you can feel her power source. You can feel those beautiful gems lifting you, guiding you, protecting you, and healing you. And then release. Bring it back to your heart. And just see there in your heart what your desire is. What is it that maybe you feel like is not being fueled? Maybe you needed to write something on this slate. Maybe you needed to put something on here, but you didn't feel like your voice could say it. Maybe there was some anxiety or fear, even about acknowledging what it is that you want. So look at that. Know that you are worthy. You are so worthy to have the things that are a desire in your heart. Just like being plugged in was someone's desire. World peace was someone's desire. Harmony and joy. Those are all things that we call to us. So let's do that. Those of us that are gathered together, those who will listen later, focus on what is on the slate today. What do we want to call forward? And let's call it. Let's plug in. Envision that power cord being plugged into the wall. See the electricity, which all energy carries some of that power, and see it coming right to this slate that lights up and that holds the energy of being connected, of having a peaceful world, a harmonious world, and a joyful world. And let's call that to us right now. And let's intend for it to be. Let's declare it. I declare that I am worthy of having this in my life. I own my magnificence. I own my divine authenticity and my divine authority to be blessed with everything my heart desires, to be blessed with abundance, to be blessed with companionship, to be blessed with people in my life that understand the same way I understand things. Let's see our world connected together. Everybody plugged into source. Every being on the planet knowing why they're here, to shine that light. And the light cannot shine without a source that's connected to it. So let's call in connection. That's a biggie today, and that's what we're going to focus on. Stay in your heart. That's where the connection takes place. And when you stay in your heart, you'll feel the guidance. You'll hear clearly, and you will see with absolute clear vision what is for you, which way to turn, which direction to go in, whether to go forward or stand still. You will always hear the guidance. Kuan Yin is right there in your heart center. So when you plug in and connect in with Spirit, she just keeps pouring in the love. She pours it in so you can understand more fully that it's all about love. Love is the only thing that's real. Hold that in your heart. Become real with yourself. First of all, make sure you understand you and you understand what you're doing here. Because many don't understand that purpose. But when you get connected and you do see the light, you'll know with certainty, I am here for, and then you'll fill in the blank. And absolutely, Marietta, calling in the guidance from Spirit. That is the source. When you go to the Creator, when you call in that which is your highest and best part of you, your higher self, God, whatever you want to choose to call the highest being, just plug into that source. Just be. That's a simple message from the angels today. Just be. And when you do that, when you stand in that divine authenticity, you know without a doubt that you are going the right direction. And I love Deirdre's message today. I'm creating world peace. I stand firmly in believing it and for it to happen in my lifetime. Let's all visualize that. Let's visualize peace and harmony in our world and wanting the very best for each other. And we do that every day here. Every day we share love and light with each other. We share love and gratitude. So come back here and see who all's with us. And let's give out some love to everyone, especially those gathered together, those who have asked for prayers for themselves. Let's just lift you up today. And we do that with these words of thank you. I love you. I'm going to call on Leo to sing to us and get us out of here today. And here we go. It's time to get up and get ready. Because today's the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go, come on. Thank you, Deirdre. Cheers, everyone. Stay in your heart. You'll be wiser for staying in your heart. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, you call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peace and the power. The daily mantras, thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, you call the AAA. Sending out love to those who didn't get up to be with us this morning, like our Auntie Jean and Dr. Ruth Anderson. Maybe she's listening in. Who knows? I'm sure she's enjoying those birds that were so magnificent over where we just were together. I'm so grateful for this song. It really lifts us in the morning, doesn't it? But full of joy. Pray for our Hope this morning. She didn't come in to join us, so let's pray everything is working perfectly where she's at. Accept, align, allow. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day. Just start the day on the high vibe, you call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peace and the power. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you. Thank you, Deirdre. Oh, she was watching? Oh, thank you, Linda. Well, Hope, we love you. And thank you for being with us every day on the Cuppa. Oh, Deirdre's ready for Leo. Let's get ready to help him at the end of the song. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Deirdre, with that woo at the end. And there's Hope. We are here. The keyboard was playing up and kept shutting down. Oh, Hope, we love you so much. And all of the gang there with you. Montana, Ayana, Zena, we love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for coming in today. And just remember the angel message for today. To stay in your heart. Get connected in. That's where the connection is. Plug it in and plug into source. And just be blessed by doing so. We'll see you back here at 1 o'clock today for the World Peace Meditation. And I love you so much. Namaste, y'all. Bye, everyone.